What's going on, boys? It's your boy John here again, coming at you from Rome. That's right. What the fuck am I doing in Rome? I don't know, man. I just decided to come in today. The trains, I heard, were really cheap, though I didn't get the cheap one. I got the most expensive one I could because I wanted to get here quick. And it didn't really help because the Colosseum's still closed, so I didn't get to go there. But I got to see it from the outside, got to see some nice views, so we're all content. Your boy's all buttoned up, as you can tell. Gotta be looking good in it when you're going out to these capital cities and all. And I've just decided, you know, it's something that I like to do. I like to dress up for good occasions, you know. It makes me feel good inside. But anyway, I've got an interesting topic today, okay? Because I haven't uploaded that video yet, but I talked about how when you go on trips abroad, especially touristy areas, you see a lot of couples, okay? You see a lot of couples, you see a lot of pretty women, and naturally the mind likes to wonder and starts to make excuses as to why you're not doing the same thing that other people are, okay? And here's the thing about relationships, couples and all this: it can tend to put you into a massive scarcity mindset and an ego, okay? You sort of develop a little bit of an ego when you look at other people and you start comparing yourself, yeah? The ego is all about comparison. That's how it builds itself up. I have this person has that, why do I not have this, why does this person have that, etc, etc, etc. And look, that's a game you're going to lose, okay? You're going to lose the game of comparison and egos, because like I've said in a previous video, the ego loves to find a reason as to why it's not happy, okay? And it creates a sense of lack. And it creates it. It's a creation. It doesn't exist. There is no lack. You don't lack anything that you need. You've got everything that you need. So the ego, in its attempt to try to fill this lack, will create loads of conceptual identities around it, and it will try to find many different reasons, logically speaking or conceptually speaking, as to why it feels the lack, but there is none, okay? So one of the conceptual things is loneliness. It's likely that you will feel lonely when you're in this state of comparison and lack, because that's the emotion attributed to the certain conceptual problem, okay? And it can be quite dangerous, okay, because it takes you into thought, takes you into concepts, and then you start to identify with those certain concepts and logics, okay? And again, like we've said tons of times before, you are not thought, okay? You're not thought, you are not ideas, you're not a concept, you're not logic. You are a human being, a spiritual manifestation of energy, okay? Now this is the thing, this is the problem, okay? When you're in this state of conceptual identity and you start to identify with concepts, you're in emotion, okay? And that's why you feel lonely. You're in emotion, and your whole world now becomes emotion, 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 good and bad. Usually bad, because that's what you're doing. You're in this conceptual state and you're identified with the thinking and the thought. Now you're identified with the emotion. So now you start to believe the illusion again, even when you've transcended it. You're slowly, seductively being pulled back into that frame of mind. It's shit, okay? It's shit. But to the guys who feel lonely, like you're not in a relationship, because I think this is not just my issue or problem. This is a problem that's going across millennials. I mean, I think every millennial's gone through this at some point, where you feel that because you're not in a relationship, because you're not bucking X amount of girls, or you haven't gone out with anyone in a while, blah blah blah, you start to feel that you're lacking something because everyone around you seems to have it, right? Everyone around you seems to be having sex and in a relationship, and they're doing all this wonderful shit. And I think this video got recommended to me at the right time, because because I was in a very deeply messed up emotional state. There's a video by Elisha Long, and in the video he says basically that if you are so desperate for a relationship, you're so desperate for a girl, your mental health is not okay. You're not mentally well. You're not mentally ill, but you're not mentally well. Your spiritual well-being, your mental well-being is not at its A game. And if you get into a relationship when you're in this state, do you seriously think you're going to be happy? Do you think that by achieving a girl, because that is what you've done, you've subconsciously and consciously pedestalized the relationship and pedestalized the girl? You've pedestalized it. You've made it a goal, an aim. You've made it something that you want to... You've made it into an end, not into a means, okay? There's the trick. There's the way the mind will trick you and guilt trip you most importantly. Because the mind will try and say to you, well, the moment you get a girl, this girl, that girl, or have this many girls, or whatever the fuck the problem is. I mean, right now mine is to do with women. And so the mind will come up with excuses and logically it will create an argument to do with it. But let's just say you do get into your relationship where you bang X amount of girls. Do you seriously think you're going to be happy when you've done it? Let's say you got the girl. You got the girl. Okay, now what? Now what? Tell me. Do you think you're going to be happy forever now? Happily forever? Fucking hell, I can't talk today. What's the saying? Live happily ever after. Do you seriously think that's going to be the end? No, it's not the end. Here's the thing about relationships, they come. It's a part of human life. If you're not in a relationship, a sexual or romantic relationship right now, don't worry, because it comes. It comes with life. It comes with life experience. It comes through meeting many people and socializing and just having a life. Okay? But if you do get into a relationship, let's say you're lonely and sad and you really want a girlfriend right now, and you get one, possible, do you seriously think you're going to be happy, number one? And number two, do you seriously think you're going to be able to pass her shit tests? Do you seriously think you're going to be able to manage her shit in general? Do you know how complicated and difficult a relationship with a woman is? That's the question you need to know. Because you're a bloke, I'm assuming. And if you're a woman reading this, watching this, same goes for you as well. Do you know how the opposite sex even operates? And I don't care how many books you read on female psychology. Have you ever been in one to really know what it's like to live, to be in an intimate relationship with a woman? Do you know? Or a man, if you're a woman. Do you know? Because that is not easy. And if your mental game, your mental well-being isn't at its A game, if you're not firmly grounded in something in your life right now, you are going to be blown away. You're going to be destroyed by your quote-unquote girlfriend. Because that girlfriend of yours, the one that you finally get, when she realizes that you're weak, because you are weak if you've pedestalized her, you're not in a strong foundation right now, you're not strongly grounded in who you are and what you do and why you're doing what you're doing, you don't fucking know, you don't even have a clue. You think that the girl is going to be completing you. So when she catches on to that, yeah, she's going to shit test you, she's going to bitch test you, she's going to cheat on you, she's going to maybe even cuck you, she's going to friend zone you, she's going to do all of these things because she's figured out that you're weak, okay, that you're not the man she thought you were, or that you have pedestalized her so much that you don't even care about yourself. You see, women, in my humble opinion, they are a luxury and a pleasure on the side. Okay, I'm not being a misogynist at all, but they are that. When you're in an intimate relationship, you need to understand and really find out why you're in this relationship. Is it just for the sex? Because now it's just desire and pleasure, and most likely it's because you're trying to cover up some inner lack, which is the reason most people indulge in a lot of pleasantries and desires in the first place. People who are fat because they're depressed or they're sad and they've got something that they're lacking, so they try to fill it up with food, good tasting whatever. People who have a lot of sex, one night stands, same thing, they're lacking something. There's a deep depression inside them that they want to fulfill with with external stimulus, external senses. So I've rambled on a bit, as always. I love to do that. But the point is, if you are not in a mentally strong place right now, if you don't have a strong foundation right now, and you do get into a relationship, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be crippled by what happens, okay? Because you're not ready for it, in my opinion. If you're that hungry for it, you're not ready for it, because you're feeling sad about it. Loneliness is just deep sadness because you're not with someone or with an idea of someone that you want. You're not with that. That's all loneliness is. Because I don't feel lonely the majority of the time. I only feel lonely when I start to think about the loneliness or think about not being with a certain girl or certain person. That's when I feel lonely. I don't feel lonely 100% of the time. Most of the time, I'm feeling nothing. I'm just feeling nothing. I'm just here, just enjoying life. That's the delusion your mind creates. For the majority of the time, when your mind's still and there's nothing going on, no loneliness. But then the moment you start to think about whatever it is that's bothering you, or whatever your mind creates that's bothering you, rather, now you're going to feel lonely. So, gentlemen, don't fall for the mind's tricks and the delusions. Don't fall for how it fools you into making something into a problem. When you see a lot of couples walking around, a lot of girls, and you start to compare yourself to them, that's ego. That's conceptual reality. If I were you, I'd get the fuck off the red pill right now. Not because, the information isn't good. The information is fine. However, it's just more concepts. It's just more ideas. It's just more education. Okay, I'm sure many of us have gone into the red pill. We understand female nature. We understand women. We understand ourselves. We understand what we need to do in this life, in this world. But that's it. You don't need to overdose. You've taken it. You know the reality. You can see through the matrix, so to speak. That's it. You don't need to keep educating yourself on female nature, because that just shows that you don't have the right priorities in your life, because you're focused on women still. You're still focused on them. By learning about them, you're still focused on them. Stop. You need to take them off the pedestal completely. Make women not even a backstop, not even something that's at the bottom of your list. Just remove them from any sort of optional goal that you want in life. Okay, because it's like me saying, I want this cake. I really want to eat this cake. And the cake's so fucking tasty, man. I love it. Oh, I don't have a cake. Now I feel upset because I don't have the cake. That's what it's like with the women. It's like women are a pleasure to be enjoyed. Okay? When you're in a relationship with a woman, now it's time for you to really decide why you're in the relationship. Are you there to help each other grow? Are you really there to help each other grow? Are you here to mentor this girl? Guide her into a higher realm? Bring her into your world, into your vibration? Educate her on life? Make sure that she's strong as you are? Help her through tough times? Is that what you are going to do? And of course vice versa, she's going to have the similar role for you as well. Because relationships are just that, reciprocal. If that isn't even on your mind, gentlemen, then I don't think you're ready for one. And I certainly, for me, I don't think I'm ready for one. I definitely don't, because I fall into patterns of deep loneliness sometimes, and then I put the blame on women. I put it on them. I say, oh, this is your fault. I'm feeling lonely because of you. That's bullshit. Do you know that? That's bullshit. The ego will never like to take accountability for its own stupidness, because that's what it is. It's making delusions and then trying to blame externals for that problem for existing. So just get out of your head, get out of your mind, enjoy life. Okay, have a goal that you're working towards. Okay, and make that the priority. So for me, fitness, my body. Okay, education, learning about the mind, learning philosophy. Okay, working, saving money. These are my priorities, my quote-unquote purposes for this time being in my life. Because again, if a relationship comes, it comes. If it's in the what would you call it? If it's in the cards, it's in the cards. Cool, I'll ride with it. But it's certainly not something that I'm going to be seeking consciously or actively. Okay, because When I am in a state of wanting a woman, that's when I tend to fuck up the most with women. That's when, because I've placed a card on every woman now. I've said to every woman that you are a potential mate, so I need to show you my best self now. And of course that's bullshit. That's just you hiding yourself, and you're not free now. And masculinity is all about freedom. It's all about unchained freedom. That's what masculinity is, right? When I think of masculinity, especially as a kid, it's like, it's unchained energy, but it's contained, it's controlled. That's what a gentleman is, isn't it? A gentleman is someone who has the aura of a killer, of a barbarian, but has it refined and is controlled in decorum. That's what masculinity is. It's freedom. And if you're then, if you've pedestalized women, how can you be free with them? It doesn't work, man. So anyway, that's going to be it. To all those guys who are feeling lonely during this lockdown, because I know that's something that we're all going through. Certainly something that I'm temporarily experiencing at certain times. And yeah, that's going to be it, man. Build yourself up. Build yourself up. Build your mind up. Meditate. Okay? Continue to exercise willpower. Make sure you've got a strong fucking kingdom, man. Right now it's weak. Right now it's weak, okay? You need to make it strong. Because then when the world attacks you, and it will, you'll be ready for it. In fact, you'll love it when they attack you, because you can now exercise your defenses, or rather, exercise your strong foundation. You can see how well your foundation sticks up now. And it really does if you do the right stuff. It really does work, man. Alright, gentlemen, that's going to be it for me today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.